Afternoon and welcome to the Orange County Speedway. Oh man, is this a great sight. 28 late model stock cars set to go do battle. And how about this? You got to get back out with your friends, folks. How about 3 cheers for that? Okay, I'm not behind a lead wall up here. I'm behind a pane of glass. I should be able to hear you guys cheer. Who's happy to be back in Orange County for a big event? That's more like it. Well, flagman Brandon Willard into place. And those of you watching on Cars Tour TV, on our social media channels as well, look at this crowd. You see it from the aerial shot, the parking lot pretty much full. There's not many places to park, and they're going to the overflow parking here, but look at that site. The infield full, all the major parking areas full as they continue to roll in here to Orange County Speedway. Wow, wow, wow. My name is always Tony Stevens, joined alongside with Hannah Newhouse this afternoon. And GXS Wraps qualifying session, the sponsor, GXS Wraps own Stephen Dunn. Glad to have both of you in here with us. And this has got to be one of the most high-intensity qualifying sessions of 2021.
Well, we were supposed to do it last night with qualifying races, and that got rained out. But I definitely think it was the right call and puts a lot more pressure on these teams. You only got 2 laps to get it done. Obviously, starting position here at Orange County is very crucial. And again, you guys will talk about it later on, but tire management is also going to be a key to winning the race today.
I would agree with that. 2 sets of tires available. We'll talk more about, 2 tires available. We'll talk more about that later. And Hannah, it feels good. We look at this. We were allowed a socially distanced crowd of about 50%. We're getting close to that, it looks like, but it's a beautiful, beautiful sight to be back in Orange County and see our favorite friends and best friends and fans back to join us as we get ready to race for the Hedgecock Pole.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking about it. It's a refreshing sight to be with race fans, to be able to be down in the pits, see your favorite drivers. And what a beautiful day it blessed us with to be able to have this race. We all would have loved to be here yesterday and had a doubleheader, but hey, I'll take it. We've got cars, we've got fans, teams, drivers, and we're going to race for $30,000 today.
$30,000 to the winner, and this morning it was announced in the drivers' meeting there's another $1,200 on the line. $400 for 3 different laps in the race. Lap 50, lap 100, and lap 150 in this one. And, that's a lot of money put up by the engine builders, the Kowalskis, as well as the Long Brothers and John West Racing Engines, each putting up $400 apiece. And that's some pretty good cabbage to lead 3, I should say, out of 200 laps this afternoon.
Yeah, there's a lot of NASCAR touring series out there right now that do not pay what you can come here and race with the Cars Tour in. I mean, you're racing against some of the best competition in the South and the Northeast. Everyone's coming down here to run in the Cars Tour. So when you say you're racing with the best of the best, in short track racing, you got to pay them like the best of the best, and that's exactly what they do here in the Cars Tour.
That they do. As we take a look at the lineup down there in turn number 1, we see them 3 wide nearly. They've got Caden Honeycutt down there, Sammy Smith, and good to see the thrill Ronald Hill back behind the wheel of a car here at his hometown racetrack, and he will be the first one out to race for the Hedgecock Pole here this afternoon. Ronald Hill on track. The first lap will be a dead lap, so this one will not count for anything, but ultimately he is going to be on the provisional pole for at least a car or 2. Lap number 1 for Ronald Hill, 14.513. 14.513 for Ronald Hill. Now currently on the provisional Hedgecock Pole. Lap number 2 for Ronald Hill is a good bit faster, 14.398. 14.398, Ronald Hill currently on the provisional Hedgecock Pole.
Have we ever seen Ronald in a white car?
It's been a long
red.
time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Car looks good.
Another car that looks good is this one. Chasing down that Gardner Marsh Gas Equipment number 74 is this, the All-American Concrete Chevrolet out of Pinellas Park, Florida. This is Stephen Nassy.
And the last time we saw him on the track was just last weekend, Tony, at Greenville Pickens, but behind the wheel of a Super, which he landed in victory lane. So he's carrying that into tonight. And I talked to Steven. This is what he's going to claim as his first actual late model stock start. He's raced one time when he was 15 that he didn't even get to complete the race in. So he's staking this one as his first late model stock start. And that first lap right there, 14.352. That bumps Ronald Hill. Nassie currently the top of the board.
So Nassie in that Fathead Racing entry. They had some issues on Friday during practice. And that's not right. The HarrisonsWorkwear.com ride of Mike Looney has looped it in turn number 2. It appears he has missed the inside wall, but he will get that car righted. And Hannah, that goes to show you just how slippery cold tires are when you go out to qualify here at a place like Orange County.
Yeah, I've been there, done that before, and it's not a good feeling. Of course, you're trying to heat them up as quick as you can, get that heat, because fortunately they do have a scratch lap. So to see someone that aggressive come out of the pit knowing you've got a full lap really to get heat before that money lap is interesting. But if anyone knows what they're doing, it is Mike Looney. So I'll be curious to see how this pans out.
That'll make 2 of us, as lap 1 now is beginning for Mike Looney on the clock as he works his way off turn number 2. And seeing that hood flap a little bit right there over the air induction opening. And I don't know if either of you two have any idea how much, if at all, does that affect any of like your carburetor pressures and things like that. I know those things are sensitive. Does that make a big difference?
I'm not sure, but I do know that one of my wrap guys thought it was the wrap coming off on Friday in practice. Mike was fast in both practices on Friday. Takes the checkered flag here.
P1, 14.121 seconds for Mike Looney.
You have to wonder if he did that on purpose now, because that was a money lap there. But one to watch here, Josh Berry returns to the car stores, hanging out with us, coming off of that Xfinity win just 2 weekends ago at Martinsville for Junior Motorsports. He knows these cars, he knows these tracks, and this next lap will be his first green flag lap of 2021 back here with the car store.
Yeah, it was good to see him at the track for practice on Saturday, and he had a plan in place in case things didn't work out with the Xfinity race. Brandon Setzer was going to drive that car, and he said Josh was faster than I am, and we know how much speed Brandon Setzer has. Lap 1 for Josh Berry, second fastest overall, 14.227. The defending winner of this race, albeit the Southern edition, will clock in second fastest overall, 14.139, 14.139, just 18 thousandths of a second off the provisional pole.
Now on the racetrack, name if you're familiar with Myrtle Beach, that is Sam Yarborough coming here to Orange County Speedway, chasing the Cars Tour title this year with McCumbee Elliott Racing. That first lap underway, green flag will be the next time by. So Yarborough really branching out this season, going to some racetracks that he hasn't been to, and I believe Orange County is one that he has minimal, if any, laps at.
Absolutely. And first lap now for Sam Yarborough, his fourth fastest overall. 14.362, 14.362. Good to see him and that crew on the tour full-time this year. One win, I should say, at Myrtle Beach a number of years ago. And second lap for Sam Yarborough is faster. Fourth fastest overall, but second lap is quicker for the Aaron's Rent Machine of Sam Yarborough. Next up on track out of Manassas, Virginia. Looking for more sponsorship on the 81 ride. Yes, the Quaker State ride, the 81, is Mini Terrell, the Mini T's fastest grease in the East Chevrolet. And he now is on the clock for his time trial effort.
Yeah, and Mini here, he's always fast in qualifying. Had a really good run here in the Old North State Nationals 2 years ago. His first top 5 in his career here as he takes the white flag.
Lap 1, third fastest, Steven, 14.221. It's one of the best first laps we have seen. Can Mini put it on the pole?
Looks good coming out of turn 4 here, Tony. We'll see what lap is.
Picked it up, but third fastest, 14.190. 14.190, third fastest overall for Mini Terrell after 6 drivers have made a qualification attempt. Next up on track, makes us home not far from here in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. In one of the Junior Motorsports rides, car number 88, this is William Cox III.
William continuing to learn with this Junior Motorsports team. Started the year off with a 14th. finished 8th at Hickory just a few weeks ago, so continuing to build the momentum, the rapport with his junior motorsports team. But when you've got a guy like Josh Berry who's just integrated himself into your team, you know you're in good hands. So he's looking to continue to build that momentum, and we'll see here what this first lap does for him.
First lap for Wilcox going to come to, first lap was 4th fastest. Second lap quicker yet, but still 4th fastest at a 14.260. 14.260 for Wilcox III. Next up, another local here to the Orange County Speedway out of the Durham, North Carolina region. Oh, wait, that'd be here. This is the 01 Commercial Refinishers J&H Class Ford of Camden Gully.
Do you guys like the orange on that car?
It looks strangely familiar to all the other GXS Wraps cars.
Yeah, it does.
It looks strangely familiar to your shirt right now.
It does look familiar to my shirt. But Camden's been running up at South Boston this year, and his goal to run some Cars Tour races, obviously here today. Also looking forward to possibly running at Ace in a couple of weeks. See what his second lap here is.
First lap, 8th fastest at a 14.523. Second lap for Gully is slower slightly, so he will pick it or not pick it up on lap number 2. So Gully, 8th out of 8 cars that have made a qualification attempt thus far. And on track now, the defending series champion and out of Trinity, North Carolina, the Black 14, the Solid Rock Carriers and Sterling Building Group Ford. This is Jared Fryer.
And while most of us yesterday probably stayed home, hung out, and got ready for today's race, Jared Fryer and that team took it to a whole nother level. They took that car home, completely pretty much gutted it, and said, we're going to try this again. Kitchen sinked it, went and practiced earlier today. 5th fast on the practice chart, so they did something right, and that first lap put him 5th so far in qualifying.
Yeah, apparently did something. They had carburetor issues, clutch issues. They did some other stuff to it. Saw a spotter, Tony White, earlier. They said, yeah, we changed everything, and it's a little free, it looks like, but currently fast. 4th fastest overall to 14.220. 14.220, less than a 10th off the Hedgecock pole here during GXS qualifying. While we watch the Black Acid Apparel 19 of Jessica Can, the series' most popular driver, let's head down to one Lenny Baticki.
That was an adventure. How much of it was what you expected?
I thought it was pretty darn good.
Well, we'll get Lenny all squared away down there momentarily as you see him trying to
The race, so we'll just see what
try and interview Minnie Terrell. So, felt like Minnie was okay happy with his qualifying lap and a little bit we were able to make out of that.
Yeah, Jessica Can, checkered flag there for the 2-time most popular driver. That lap puts her 10th on the speed charts at the moment. But now, heading out on the racetrack, the number 08 of Deke McCaskill. Obviously a staple here in late model stock racing. Excited to see him run here at Orange County this evening.
Yeah, this guy's really good here. He's won 2 Cars Tour races here. Was on the Stickered Up podcast on Tuesday night and felt really good about his chances to win $30,000 this weekend.
Yeah, anytime you put Deke in a car that he's comfortable with, watch out. It's been a little while. There would be no better story than for Deke McCaskill to make that, I don't want to say comeback win, but it's been almost 2 years since he went to Victory Lane. For it to come right here at Orange County, a place that he considers one of his hometown tracks. And lap 1, he's got a shot, guys. 14.173. He's 3rd fastest. Can he pick it up a half a tenth? Yes, he can. 14.099. New provisional Hedgecock pole sitter Deke McCaskill has put it for now on the front row.
And I tell you, with him starting up front, he's going to be one to watch for sure. 4 o'clock when that green flag flies.
Well, he's going to be starting in a good spot, no doubt about it. As one of the impossible to miss GXS Wraps Puryear Tank Lines cars hits the racetrack. This is the driver out of Texas. Number 4 is Caden Honeycutt. Painted identically to Bubba Pollard's car in lap number 1 for Caden Honeycutt. Well, he is 7th fastest overall to 14.283. 14.283 for Caden Honeycutt. Not a bad run here on the first trip. But Hannah, what can you do on lap 2?
Currently 4th fast in that second lap, so that'll put Caden in the top 5 so far. Pretty good run again. Continuing to build momentum, working with Justin Johnson and his crew, and We know Justin won that first race out, so that team's got a pretty good notebook so far in 2021. Now on the racetrack, the number 14J of Connor Jones out of Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Of course, Connor won the couple of races down at the World Series of Asphalt in New Smyrna earlier this year. Seems like that's been an eternity ago, but it's only been about 2 months and a week or so. Man, sometimes it takes a while, and he now is on his first timed lap. And this kid, he's got a lot of potential, guys. Sometimes it's a matter you got to capture lightning in a bottle. That is Connor Jones. He's got a lot of power. You just got to contain it. And that's one thing Mike Darn and company are working on with him, is he is 8th fastest on lap 1.
And they've really captured that in getting this kid as much seat time as possible. You mentioned speed weeks. That's multiple days of racing in a row in pro late model stock. So they're getting him that seat time. That lap, though, the checkered flag for Connor Jones puts him 8th fastest. So improved just a little, but not quite enough. But now on the racetrack, the hometown boy here of Lane Riggs in that 99. He is one that I look forward to watching here, because he's got a pretty solid fan base here, but he really takes advantage of it.
He does. I'm pretty sure half the fans here are likely a Lane Riggs follower or supporter of some type, as he now is on his first of 2 timed laps in the number 99. Puryear Tank Lines, Turner Asphalt, and Solid Rock Ford. What can he do on lap number 1? Lap 1 for Riggs, 6th fastest. He needs a little over a 10th to put it on the front row.
Yeah, and I tell you, Lane's talked about this. This is definitely one that he's circled on his calendar. Definitely a race that he wants to win here at home.
Lap 2 for Riggs is quicker, and Lane Riggs is 4th. Outside row 2 at the moment with a 14.159.
You got a lot of fans really excited with that burst of excitement there, buddy.
We're not teasing it all up here, not at all. But, hey, good shot for Lane Riggs to start this one out pretty well. And this guy as well picked up the win at Hickory. Seems like forever ago. It's been about a month. The driver out now making his home out of Kernersville, North Carolina. In the Autos by Nelson, Solid Rock Carriers Toyota. This is, yes, Bobby McCarty. And lap 1 for McCarty is solid. 14.127, 3rd fastest, guys.
Yeah, and Bobby actually won the last time we were here at Orange County 2 years ago. See what he does here on his money lap.
P3 slowed down on lap number 2 by a few thousandths. So McCarty currently sitting inside of row number 2 in his Chevrolet.
Out on the racetrack now, piloting for Nelson Motorsports. Again, we see him often in a super late model. That is Sammy Smith in the 2N of Johnston, Iowa. Coming and hanging out with us, late model stock racing. I believe Timothy actually tested the car for him on Friday, so Sammy really getting the first laps in it here today, with everything kind of being rained out on Saturday. So excited to have him here. That first lap, 8th quick with a 14.214.
Good lap for Sammy Smith, but he's going to want more than that. Nearly won that first super race in the Tour at Greenville a couple of weeks ago. Lap number 2 in time trials picks it up slightly, the 7th fastest for Sammy Smith at a 14.190. Guys, how tight is this field? Almost the entire top 10 already is within a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, I was literally thinking that, Tony, sitting here looking at the scoreboard, watching times go up. You're going to have 15, 16 guys probably within a 10th and a half when we drop the green flag here in a couple of hours.
On the racetrack now, though, one I was looking forward to watching when I saw his name on the entry list. Tyler Matthews teams back up with Hawk McCall Racing in the 41. Runner-up finish at Hickory, and he's back. He's going to try and get that win for the team. First lap for him, 14th quick, though, so with a 14.38. Needs to pick it up a little bit to be up there. But again, Matthews coming off a strong run at Hickory.
And this is pretty much what he did at Hickory. Didn't qualify well, but Lee McCall has a thing with drivers that the car is not fast for one lap, but on lap 200, you better watch out. As we saw at Hickory, he even told me in the tech line the other day, he said, I need to learn to use the bumper a wee bit harder. Just a little bit is all he needed. So I think he learned that lesson. Is on track now from right here in Rougemont. Former winner in the Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour at South Boston a couple of seasons ago, and former track champion here. This is Craig Moore. First lap for Craig Moore off of turn number 4. He'll clock in 11th fastest at a 14.289. 14.289. Chasing Deke McCaskill. 14.099 is the mark. Ooh, big bobble there for Craig off turn 4, Hannah, as lap number 2, still quicker, but 11th fastest.
Justin Johnson now out on the racetrack. Started that year off with a win, like we mentioned, at Dillon Motor Speedway. Captured his first Cars Tour victory. He's a busy guy, not only driving, but again, he's got Bubba Pollard out of his pit this weekend. He's also got Caden Honeycutt. And Justin Johnson looking to add 2 wins to the season here today at Orange County Speedway. Green flag is in the air for him in that qualifying session. Wow, really saw the back end slide out there in the middle of 1 and 2.
And I've seen a lot of cars this week in particular much lower on this racetrack than we traditionally have seen. I don't know if that's a product of the track itself, the tire, the weather, but Johnson making it work. 4th fastest so far.
Yeah, that time of 14.127, so have to improve by almost a 10th here to get that top. So checkered flag, and he does it.
Oh, fist pump from Stephen Dunn down here, the GXS Wraps car, currently on the Hedgecock pole as part of GXS qualifying. So Justin Johnson, the winner at Dillon, currently fast man on the chart as a former winner now here at Orange County in the limited race a few weeks ago. Joe Valento out of Minnesota now is on the clock for David Gilliland Racing.
Tony, we've only worked 3 races together, and we're almost finishing into other sentences.
It's great, isn't it? We got a fist bump from Steven, and we're like, he does it. It's great.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here just being a fan. But great qualifying lap by Justin, and able to get a couple of new sponsors on the car for him this weekend. William Travis Jewelry, Durham Mechanical Services. So really excited, and obviously pumped him up to get a provisional pole here.
Yes, Valento lap 1 was 16th fastest and second lap slower for the driver out of Minnesota. So Joe Valento going to have a little bit of ways to go through this field, but he's got some good cars around him in Sam Yarbrough and Tyler Matthews to follow to the front. Now on the track, car number 24, also out of Manassas, Virginia. Member of the Lucas Oil Touring 12. This is Mason Diaz now on the clock.
Mason Diaz has his hands full this year. He's not only chasing here with the Cars Tour and a championship, but also racing in the ARCA East full-time. So he's got a full schedule, but of course late model racing where he's cut his teeth over at Southern National. Coming and hanging out with us here at the Cars Tour this year. Looking forward to having Diaz travel with us. Currently though, 14th quick with a 14.304, but the checkered flag in the air for Diaz. That second lap, wow, pretty big improvement. 7th with a 14.173. So Diaz 7th on the speed chart.
Good run for Mason, and with about 6 or 7 cars remaining, should be in decent position once we take the green flag here this afternoon. Now on track, a rookie here going for the RNS Race Cars Rookie of the Year Award in the Bitcoin Chevrolet. This is Daniel Silvestri. Talked to Daniel and his dad a little bit on Friday. They said, you know, we got all these really nice, smooth tracks where we're from, newer and freshly paved. Down here, y'all got them bumpy, they're worn out, but he seems to like this stuff. And so far now in lap number 1, doesn't like it maybe as much as he thought he would, 16th fastest.
You know, the one thing about Silvestri that I've noticed in the first 2 races, like you said, he's familiar with running at Dominion, South Boston, really big grip tracks. The first 3 races, Dillon, Hickory, Orange County, no grip, he's really held his own.
He has done a good job so far here in this what would just be the 3rd race of the season between Dillon, Hickory, and now Orange County. On track now, had a good shot at winning this race 2 years ago when it was held here at Orange County, the inaugural running out of Oak Ridge, North Carolina, and the Fremont Properties. Number 2 for the Crossroads Harley-Davidson on the side. The Lee Pulliam Performance Stables. This is Brandon Pierce.
And if I'm going to enter a race like this, I want Lee Pulliam on my side. He obviously won the last time we were here for the Old North State Nationals, and they've got a great notebook between Brandon and Jonathan Schaefer, who was quickest in practice. I mean, you got a good notebook when you're working with Lee Pulliam, and I think we're going to see this speed here come out of both those LPP performance cars.
Likely so. Lap number 2, Brandon Pierce jumps to 9th in car number 2, so good run for him here with a handful of cars to go, but it's not over yet for Justin Johnson. There's a couple of big bullets in the gun, one of which on track now. This is the black number 2 from just down the road in Fuquay Arena, North Carolina. In the Knowles Cabinets ride, this is Trevor Knowles.
And again, Trevor, one of those super late model guys. He won here $10,000 2 years ago in the Mid-Atlantic Classic here for the Cars Tour. And teaming up with Lee Falk this weekend for a chance to win $30,000.
Yeah, and he's one of the drivers, too, that does have a little bit of what we can call local experience as well. In 2010, ran the limited sportsman division, had a couple starts there. So he does have laps around here. Currently 16th quick so far with a 14.304. So checkered flag in the air. Let's see. 12th quick. So 14.198 for Knowles.
Yeah, I talked to Michael Falk the other day when they're going through the tech line. He said, man, we got a wheel man in our hands. We just got to figure out how to slow him down, which seems counterintuitive, but anybody that's been around this long enough knows you can burn them up real easy, real early. And that's been the biggest thing with Trevor Knowles and a lot of great race car drivers is to pull the reins back on them and reel them in, and that's when they become really, really dangerous. On the Speedway now, currently third in series points. He's been these pleasant surprise so far in 2021. Originally out of the state of Ohio, now pretty much living in the Carolinas more or less. Driver number 81. Now making his home in Granite Falls, this is Sam Butler.
Yeah, and Sam's done a really good job in that Roger Johnson PRW. He is seventh fastest after his second lap, but he's done a great job, finished third in the first two races, sitting third in points.
A good run for him. He continues to impress throughout 2021. On the Speedway now out of Bristow, Virginia. Picked up that maiden win at the Dominion Raceway 1 year ago. Has had some solid runs so far since then in the Solid Rock Carriers number 4 car. This is Jonathan Finley.
Yeah, and Jonathan, last time we were here at Orange County 2 years ago, had a top 5 finish. Obviously, the big wreck that we had there early in the race, he was able to get through that and collect the top 5 the last time we were here at Orange County.
24th on lap number 1 for Jonathan Finley. He wants a lot more than that. Second trip around across the stripe, not much better. 24th for Jonathan Finley, so he is going to have some work to do here this afternoon. Well, one of those two big bullets, Hannah, are on track. The man fastest in practice earlier this afternoon out of Ashland, Ohio. In the second Lee Pulliam performance entry, the number 91 is driven by Jonathan Schaefer.
Really loose coming out of 4 there, Tony. We'll see what he comes. Goes down the back stretch. Good-looking race car.
Car looks good. Seems to have a lot of forward drive. A little sideways there off turn 4. He needs a lot, though. Lap 1, 16th fastest, 14.272. 2/10 can put it on the pole. Does he have it in him? Under the hood of the Toyota, Schaefer up the racetrack. Cranks the wheel left. Checkers are in the air. And he can't do it. 16th fastest for Jonathan Schaefer. That's got to be a big disappointment.
Wow, yeah, that's about the same time he ran in practice. So we've increased our speeds by 0.2, almost 0.3 of a second between the quickest practice time and qualifying at the moment. But one of the other big guns here, Bubba Pollard, coming back to race some late model stock racing with us. Again, if you're familiar with late model racing at all, you've heard the name Bubba Pollard in many different scenarios, usually in victory lane at some racetrack. And Pollard joining Justin Johnson this weekend to come and race for $30,000. Always interesting when Pollard comes and hangs out with us. White flag, first lap for Pollard, 19th with a 14.312.
Yeah, but Bubba Pollard's also, he doesn't qualify good, but you know he's going to take care of his stuff, and you know yes, if he's there with 15, 20 laps to go, he's going to be a contender to win the race.
7th for Bubba Pollard. 7th fastest for car 26, and that means Justin Johnson, during GXS Wraps qualifying, has put the GXS Wraps Puryear Tank Lines car on the pole position. And wow, looking those of you on TV, what a sight as they continue to roll. You can see at the top of the screen, they continue to roll in here, and there's a crowd still making their way into the grandstands. A socially distanced 50% crowd here at the Orange County Speedway. There's some parking outside turns 3 and 4, but by golly, that is a pretty sight to see. Fantastic to have. As we anticipate Lenny Baticki at some point will get a hold of Justin Johnson, although he might be too busy celebrating down there, Stephen.
Yeah, I tell you, it's really good to be back here at Orange County, and again, with all the fans, this has always been a racetrack that the Cars Tour loves coming to. You guys, as far as fans, you guys are the best fans in the world here at Orange County Speedway. give yourself a round of applause. You're getting ready to see a hell of a show here at 4 o'clock.
And that is the anticipated start time. Green flag. The Carolina Pro Late Model Series will be on at 3 p.m. They have got a 75-lap or 45-minute time limit on that race. It might go green to checker, and we be done in 25 minutes, or it could take all 45 minutes. So sometime between about 3:30 and 4, we anticipate the green flag for the Carolina Pro Late Model, or excuse me, for the Cars Tour event following the Carolina Pro Late Model Series feature here this afternoon. The third race on the card, of course, will be the Carolina Crate Modified Series. They will be here to be the afternoon/evening cap as they will race 50 laps or 30 minutes, whichever comes first for that group of race cars. But continue to be impressed by this crowd. And look, all the way around the racetrack, you've got trackside seating. It's one of the best seats in the house here at Orange County. You can pull the lawn chair right up by the fence. It's great.
And what was even better, too, when I pulled in this morning at roughly 9:30, campers. There were so many campers surrounding the perimeter. People already starting to stake out their claim around the outside retaining wall here. Fans, when I was down here this morning at 10:30, lined up, getting ready to come into the racetrack. Gates didn't open till noon. So you know everyone, even us, the drivers, were anticipating this event. And again, we're so excited to have everyone here, have a beautiful day on our hand, and these drivers are going to take full advantage of it and put on a phenomenal show.
Yes, they are. It might not be the full capacity crowd we had 2 years ago, but it is a socially distanced 50% crowd. So we're going to pack it out to the maximum point we are legally allowable to do in the state of North Carolina as we see Justin Johnson on the back straightaway. And, well, I'm sure we'll hear from him a little bit later, perhaps during driver introductions as he'll send that car through tech and get ready to go here at the Orange County Speedway. Conveniently enough, right next to one of those Puryear Tank Lines trucks.
Yeah, well, Tony, thank you and Hannah for having me up here for qualifying. Always to get good to get in the booth with you guys. Have a great time up here. You guys have the best view, although I'm going to have a really good view in that VIP suite over there as well. But best of luck to you guys on a good call for the race, and enjoy yourselves today.
Thank you, sir. And thanks, by the way, I wanted to give a shout-out to Steven as dadgum, he's breaking our stuff already. So check this stuff out. They gave away about 250 koozies to the first handful of fans that came in here. And we've got this. This is the collector's item right here. Yeah, you've got the Puryear Tank Clyde's Old North State Nationals logo on here, and you've got the GXS Wraps qualifying night for last night since it rained out. So it's like one of those misprints, right?
So it's not really a misprint. It's a collector's item.
It's a collector's item.
Yeah, and if you guys want to go behind the grandstand, two of our GSX Wraps drivers, Landon Pimbleton and Carter Langley, are back there.
In fact, signing autographs. Right on cue.
They're signing autographs.
Right on cue.
Yeah, they're signing autographs and they're handing out koozies. So if you guys don't have one and they have any still left, go down there and grab them. Talk to those kids. That's the future of the Cars Tour behind the grandstand today. So go check out Landon and Carter. And again, thank you guys for all you do. Look forward to a great race.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks for being a supporter of the tour. For that matter, this particular event, the GXS Wraps qualifying session here as part of the Puryear Tank Line's Old North State Nationals. Well, let's go down trackside, Hannah, to Lenny Baticki. I think he may have caught up with perhaps our pole sitter, Justin Johnson. Lenny, what you got?
Well, Justin Johnson isn't quite here yet, but I've got our partner from Speed Sport News and such. And what do you think? Qualifying overall, Johnson on the pole, Pollard somewhere in there, Nassie, what do you think, Jacob?
Big takeaway, Lenny, is we've got the top 10 within a tenth of a second, and at this racetrack, that's impressive. Justin Johnson on the pole. We've just put all three of their cars inside the top 10, including Bubba. That team's been on a roll since they won the opening race of the season at Dillon back in March. I think they're showing a lot of strength here. But the big thing to keep in mind is qualifying here isn't everything. It's a long race, 200 laps, and that's what's going to pay the money. It's not where you are at lap 1, it's where you are at lap 200.
Award-winning journalist from Speed Sport, Jacob Seelman. You're not just here just to cover during the race. You've been working on stories all the time. What can we look for in Speed Sport about this race and in the week ahead?
I think the biggest thing coming is what we've got out of Stephen Nassie. Obviously here today working with Jamie Yelton in the familiar 51, but launching under his own Stephen Nassie Racing banner coming up and going to hit a lot of marquee shows. The split from Jet Motorsports. Going to talk to Stephen before the race this afternoon and find out kind of what went into that and what his mindset is going forward. Seems like a fresh start for him, and he seems really rejuvenated. A lot of relaxed faces through that camp today.
So you got Nassie, you got Pollard, you got Johnson on the pole. Going to put you on the pressure pole. Who are you going to pick to take home 30 out of this one?
I'm going to pick the veteran who's been really good, not just in the Cars Tour, but at Orange County in the past. Give me Deke McCaskill to win this thing. I think veteran experience prevails at the end of the day.
Veteran experience, Jacob Seelman, award-winning journalist from Speed Sport. You want to find out the new Speed Sport? They can send it right into your email box. They can put it on your social media, wherever you want to digest news about racing from all forms, especially the Cars Tour. Check out Jacob Seelman and Speed Sport TV covering these events. Back up to you, Tony.
Thank you, Lenny. And, yeah, good to see Jacob here. And look at this. Again, crowd coming in, folks crossing the racetrack. And, wow, so glad to be back at one of our favorite racetracks here at the Orange County Speedway. If you're watching on social, sorry we don't have a chance to really interact much with you folks. We like to know who you're cheering for and who you think's going to win this thing. And, man, the things go by so fast here in Orange County, Hannah, that we just didn't have any time. That's how it works. But the good news is we've got a lot of racing to come, and they can watch all of it on the address in the bottom of their frame, www.carstour.tv.
Yeah, and you're not going to want to miss this one. Again, $30,000 on the line. We've got some of the best late model racers in the country here. You've got the hometown guys, the veterans, the young guns looking to make a name for themselves. This story is writing itself. And Tony, we're 3 races into the season, and we've had down to the wire finishes every time. And let's just give them another bone to try and chase after here.
$30,000 more. Yeah.
We are setting ourselves up for a great day of racing.
It is going to be a dandy, no doubt about it. Orange County always produces fantastic racing. We've had great finishes all year. Some of the best teams and drivers in the country are here. You don't want to miss it. If you're on social, head on over, www.carstour.tv. And before we sign off on social, let's head down yet again to one Lenny Baticki.
With our pole sitter, Justin Johnson. How was the lap?
That was a pretty good lap. Car was really good. First lap coming to the white, it stuck really well, and spotter read me at 12, so I knew we had a good lap. I just let it hang out on the last lap and bust off a pretty good lap. I think I left a hair on the table, honestly, so might be trouble for the competition. I sure hope it is, but it's right in our sponsor's backyard. I want to thank Puryear Tank Lines, GXS Wraps, William Travis Jewelry, everyone who helps on this deal. Awesome horsepower John West race engines, and how about those R&S race cars on the front row?
Well, that was what I was going to ask you about. Not only are you on the pole, but you've got all 3 of them in the top 10. How proud are you of the organization and the effort that it took to put all 3 here?
Very proud. We've really worked our butts off this week. Marcus Richmond, Jason Stanley, just unbelievable job by everyone. Can't name everybody by any means, but everyone's worked really hard. All our drivers are doing their part, and we just want to go out and get one of these cars in victory lane tonight.
Well, it wouldn't be bad to see this guy back in victory lane. He was all smiles down there in South Carolina a few weeks ago. Justin Johnson, your pole sitter. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you, Lenny. And yes, he's going to try to pick up where he left off after that Dillon win. So we're just a few moments away from opening ceremonies where we'll have our invocation and national anthem. And at that time, we'll turn the mic over to Tom Baker and company for the Carolina Pro Late Model Series and their opening event here this afternoon for the Puryear Tank Lines Old North State Nationals, presented by GXS Wraps. And again, what a sight here at Orange County. Great crowd, socially distanced, 50% capacity. Glad to have each and every one of you here this afternoon. You are in for a treat. And those of you watching online, thank you for tuning in to Cars Tour TV. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you a fantastic race here this afternoon. Well, if you're on social, that's it. We're going to hit the button on this qualification session. We're going to go to some other pre-recorded content and come back in just a little bit with opening ceremonies live here at the Orange County Speedway. Don't miss a minute of it. www.carstour.tv is where you can watch everything here tonight.